The average American uses 80 to 100 gallons of water every day. Shower, toilet, dishes, laundry, the faucet running while you brush your teeth. 80 gallons every single day per person. Now consider this. In rural Pennsylvania and Ohio and Indiana, there are families, farming families with children, livestock, and full working homesteads who have been operating on a fraction of that for 200 years, without a water bill, without a municipal connection, without ever calling a plumber. The Old Order Amish don't have indoor plumbing, running water, or electricity. They get water from the family well using a hand pump, warm it on a stove, and use it for everything a household requires. What they built instead of dependence is something that works in any power outage, any drought advisory, any supply chain disruption, indefinitely. I want to show you how they do it.
Here is what most people don't understand about the modern water system. It is extraordinarily convenient, and that convenience created a dependency that most households have never thought about because it has never been tested. The average American home uses water at a rate that would be completely impossible to maintain without a pressurized municipal system or an electric pump. A 10-minute shower uses 25 gallons. A single toilet flush uses 1.6. A dishwasher cycle uses 4. A load of laundry uses 15 to 45. 80 gallons a day, every day, is not a natural human water requirement. It is a consumption pattern that emerged directly from the infrastructure that made it effortless. The Amish didn't reject modern plumbing out of ignorance. Their ordnung, the community rules that govern daily life, was formed when these systems didn't exist. They built alternatives, and those alternatives have been refined and maintained for 200 years. The Amish use ingenious methods of engineering to move water, using air pressure, gravity, hand pumping, and propane-powered systems, none of which connect to the public utility grid, maintaining the Amish principle of separation from the modern world. The result is not primitive. It is a water system that functions completely independently of any infrastructure that can fail.
You already know that less water is possible. You've seen it. Camping for a weekend, the way a 2-gallon jug lasts longer than you expected when you're deliberate about it. The way washing dishes in a basin uses a fraction of what the faucet running continuously would. You've been on a property with a hand pump, watched someone work it, noticed that the water came out clean and cold and perfectly usable. Amish hand pumps are robust, well-maintained, and designed for durability and efficiency. The fundamental principle relies on atmospheric pressure and the creation of a vacuum. Deceptively simple, extraordinarily reliable. The pipe doesn't freeze in winter if it's properly constructed. The pump doesn't break in a power outage because it doesn't use power. It doesn't stop working when the utility company has a problem. It stops working when the physics of atmospheric pressure stop working, which is to say, it doesn't stop working. Here is the number that reframes the entire conversation. The average American spends $700 to $1,200 per year on water and sewer service. Over 20 years, up to $24,000 for water. Amish hand pumps are typically made from cast iron and have a documented lifespan of 25 years with minimal maintenance. Some families have run them for 50 years. A quality deep well hand pump costs $200 to $400 installed. A cistern to store collected rainwater costs $200 to $500 to build. A complete off-grid water system, hand pump plus storage plus filtration, can be assembled for under $1,000. One time. That system produces water for the next 50 years. The math doesn't require explanation. System number 1, the hand pump well. The most iconic and widely recognized method of how the Amish pump water is through the use of the hand pump. These are robust, well-maintained pumps designed for durability and efficiency. The mechanics are straightforward. A cylinder sits below the frost line, typically 4 to 6 feet underground, though deeper in colder climates. Inside the cylinder, a piston moves up and down. When the handle is pumped downward, the piston rises, creating a partial vacuum below it. Atmospheric pressure, 14.7 pounds per square inch at sea level, pushes water up to fill that vacuum. The water rises through a check valve and out the spout. No electricity, no pressure tank, no circuit breaker that trips in a storm.
The durability of these hand pumps is a significant advantage. Maintenance involves occasional lubrication, replacement of worn seals or washers, and ensuring the wellhead remains clean. This focus on repairability and longevity aligns perfectly with the Amish ethos of avoiding disposability and valuing items that can be passed down through generations. For shallow wells, up to 25 feet, a simple suction pump works. For deeper wells, a deep well pump with a drop pipe is required. Both are available from suppliers like Lehman's, a hardware company that has served Amish and off-grid communities for decades. Fresh water is pumped daily by Amish communities with a well, often by the children, and delivered to the kitchen or wherever it is needed. Here's what that looks like in practice. Morning, one child pumps water into a 5-gallon bucket, carries it to the kitchen. That 5 gallons covers cooking, dishwashing, drinking, and food preparation for the day. Deliberate, efficient, completely functional. And the pump doesn't care whether the power grid is working.
System number 2, the gravity cistern and the Amish air pressure innovation. When a water source can be elevated above the point of use, water flows downhill naturally due to gravity. The Amish are adept at harnessing this for their water needs. The basic configuration: a cistern or tank positioned uphill from the house or elevated on a stand above the roofline. Water is pumped or collected into the elevated tank. From there, it flows by gravity through pipes into the kitchen and in more advanced setups throughout the house. No pressure pump required. No electricity. The cistern maintains continuous water pressure as long as it has water in it. But here is the Amish innovation that surprises most people. No electricity is used, but the Amish devised systems using air pressure to build up by collecting water in a small cistern, closing a valve so that pressure builds up, which then bubbles into another pipe that directs the water to the house. The air pressure moves it easily. An air-over-water pressure tank, pressurized by a hand pump, a small engine, or even a windmill, stores pressurized water that behaves exactly like a municipal water system inside the home. Turn on the kitchen faucet. Water comes out under pressure. Some Amish communities permit the use of propane-powered engines for water pumps, ensuring a steady water supply and the availability of hot water, while maintaining the principle of not connecting to the public utility grid. The system these communities built is not a primitive workaround. It is a fully functional off-grid water system that has been engineered, refined, and maintained for 2 centuries.
System 3 is not a technology, it is a philosophy, and it may be the most transferable lesson in this entire video. The Amish use a wash basin for their daily hygiene. They use it to wash their hands and face in the morning. The same wash basin is used in the evening for washing their hands, face, and feet. One basin, used twice a day, emptied, rinsed, reused. The same water that washes vegetables can water a houseplant. The rinse water from dishes can be used to mop a floor. The bath water can be cooled and used for the garden. This is not deprivation. This is the awareness of water as a resource with a cost, measured not in dollars on a bill, but in the physical work of pumping it from the ground. When water costs effort, you don't waste it. When it costs nothing to turn on a faucet, the incentive to be deliberate disappears. Old Order Amish families typically share bathwater, especially in more conservative communities. Once a week, they fill a wooden or metal bath, and the family takes turns bathing, a smart way to keep everyone clean without using too much water. This is not a hardship to the families who practice it. It is simply how water has always worked when you are responsible for producing it yourself. The average American uses 17 gallons in a single shower. The Amish family that bathes weekly, washes with a basin daily, and pumps deliberately uses a fraction of that, and is by no objective measure less clean or less healthy. They are simply more aware.
Here is how to apply this to your household this week, without moving to an Amish community. Step 1. Measure what you actually use. Most households have no idea how much water they consume. Check your monthly bill. Divide by 30. Divide by the number of people in your household. That is your daily per-person usage. For most American households, it will be between 60 and 100 gallons. Step 2. Identify the largest uses and test one reduction. Shorten one shower by 5 minutes. That saves 12 gallons, per person, per day. Turn off the faucet while brushing teeth. Saves 4 gallons. Wash dishes in a basin rather than under running water. Saves 15 to 20 gallons per session. These are not sacrifices. They are the habits of everyone who ever lived before the faucet made awareness unnecessary. Step 3. If you're on a well, price a manual backup pump.
A quality cast iron hand pump installed alongside your electric pump costs $200 to $400. It gives you full water access during any power outage, indefinitely. The Amish didn't start with a complete system. They started with a pump, a bucket, and the understanding that water comes from the ground, not from a company.
I know what you're thinking. This works for the Amish because they grew up doing it. I would find it miserable. Let me offer a different frame. Most Americans who have lived without running water for an extended period, through a hurricane, a winter storm, a rural property without municipal service, describe the same thing. The first day is disorienting. The second day is manageable. By the third day, a deliberate system has formed, and the disorientation is gone. Humans adapt to water constraints within days. The discomfort is not the absence of running water. The discomfort is the interruption of a habit. The Amish have no habit to interrupt. And the practical systems they've built, hand pumps, gravity cisterns, air pressure tanks, are not significantly less convenient than a faucet once the initial adjustment is made. Community decisions about water technology are made at the local church level, meaning practices vary significantly from one community to another. There is no single Amish water system. There is a set of principles: independence from the grid, repairability, durability, and deliberate use. Those principles apply to any household. The thing about Amish water systems that stays with me is how invisible they are. 200 years. In the same counties, on the same roads, adjacent to the same municipal water systems that everyone else depends on, there are communities that have never paid a water bill, never had a plumber arrive in an emergency, never gone without water because the pumping station lost power. 200 years of complete water independence. Not because they are backward, because they made a decision at the founding of their communities in America in the early 1700s that dependence on systems they didn't control was a risk they were not willing to accept, and they built the alternative instead. The hand pump still works the same way it worked in 1850. The gravity cistern still works the same way. The air pressure system is a refinement, but the principle, water flows downhill, pressure moves water, is unchanged from ancient engineering. Your great-grandparents understood this. Before municipal water arrived in most rural American communities in the mid-20th century, every rural household had a well, a pump, and a cistern. That infrastructure did not disappear because it stopped working. It disappeared because the pipe was easier. The pipe is still easier, but the pipe has a bill attached to it, and a pumping station, and a power supply, and a treatment plant, and a distribution network. And when any one of those things fails, the faucet stops. The hand pump doesn't care. It works the same way it has always worked, one stroke at a time. Take care. I'll see you in the next one.